Hello, you're kicking off the Sunday's edition of QPVN English News Bulletin. You're with Milichi. Here come the headlines. President Donald's activities in Cambodia. Lotus Festival 2024 promotes Hanoi's cultural beauty. Gió connecting Vietnamese and European culture. As part of his visit to Cambodia on July the 13th, President Donald met with Cambodian National Assembly President, held talks with Cambodian Prime Minister, and judged some other activities. At the meeting with Cambodian National Assembly President Sudari, the two sides agreed to maintain all-level contacts and meetings in all channels, including the Parliament channel, and stable economic cooperation and connectivity, especially in border areas, towards the target of $20 billion in two-way trade as set for the upcoming years. They will also work harder to build a shared borderline of peace, friendship, cooperation, and sustainable development. Meeting with Cambodian Prime Minister Manet, the two leaders expressed their delight at the strong development of the two countries' relations across spheres, bringing practical benefits to the people of each country. The two countries have maintained regular exchanges and meetings at all levels and channels, especially the Party, State, National Assembly, and people-to-people exchange. The two sides committed to further deepening defense security cooperation, following the principle of not allowing hostile forces to use the country's territory to support the other, closely cooperating in high-tech and cross-border crime prevention and control, continuing to build a borderline of peace, stability, cooperation, and sustainable development, and supporting each other in training personnel and improving law enforcement capacity. They will coordinate in implementing signed border-related treaties and agreements, continue to negotiate and fight fair and reasonable solutions to promote the settlement of areas with incomplete demarcation in the near future, strengthen cooperation to prevent cross-border human and drug trafficking, and ensure security and safety for people in the border provinces. Within his visit, President Blum and the Vietnamese mission paid tribute to late King Norodom Sihanouk at his monument and offered flowers at the Cambodia-Vietnam Friendship Monument in Phnom Penh. He then met with chairwoman of the Cambodia-Vietnam Friendship Association, Samdech Men Saman, and Cambodian alumni studying in Vietnam. President Tô Lâm also had a meeting with representatives of Vietnamese representative agencies and the Vietnamese community in Cambodia. He also visited Medphone, an affiliate of the Vietnam Military Industrial Telecoms Group, and the Royal University of Phnom Penh. On the occasion of the 77th anniversary of the Wounded Soldiers and Martyrs' Day on July 13th, a mission of the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense, led by Lieutenant General Nguyễn Xuân Anh, Double Chief of the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, offered incense and flowers to commemorate heroic martyrs at Dong Lộc Junction Special Natural Relic Site and Trung Bồn Relic Site. Dong Lộc Junction Special Natural Relic Site is considered a place of remembrance that educates youngsters about the Vietnamese Revolution tradition. From April to October 1968, the site endured nearly 50,000 bombs of various types. Over 4,000 martyrs from across the country died in action in this sacred land, including 10 young female volunteers from Squad 4, Company 552 of General Unit 55. During the national resistance war against the American imperialists, Trung Bồn became a symbol of fervent footsteps of the youth who marched along the Trường Sơn mountain range to salvage the country. In the solemn atmosphere, General Anh and other delegates respectfully offered flowers and incense in tribute to the immense contribution of those national heroes who heroically sacrificed for the cause of the country's liberation and reunification. The mission pledged to always be loyal to the fatherland, the party, and the people, and further contribute to the country's development, as well as the military building, thus firmly safeguarding the country. Dissemination on legal regulations for combating illegal fishing activities is one of the key tasks of the Border Guard, Navy, and Coast Guard forces in coordination with local coastal authorities. This task has several new points with the implementation of Decree number 37 and number 38, replacing Decree number 26 and number 42 of the government regarding regulations on administrative penalties in fisheries exploitation.
When fishing vessels dock, The bodyguard force promptly inspect entry and exit procedures, while informing fishermen about the new regulations in Decree No. 38, which include new points such as thoroughly assessing fishing vessels in each locality in conjunction with managing, supervising, and handling violations, monitoring fishing logs at sea, and introducing specific sanctions for violation fishing vessels and owners. Illegal fishing activities, specifically some fishermen's vessels operating in the wrong areas and routes, will be reported and handled. Today, the relevant authorities have defined that the awareness and responsibility of fishermen play an essential role. Along with the bodyguard, the Coast Guard and Navy Service have held several campaigns and provided hotlines to support fishermen at sea. Thanks to determination of military forces and functional agencies, we better understand and comply with the regulations of not trespassing on other countries' waters. Fishermen must commit themselves to not entering foreign waters. They must also agree to report their locations so that the authorities can identify and monitor their fishing activities. Decree No. 37 and No. 38 have added several new regulations, including strict penalties for fishing vessels losing their fishing journey records, holding vessels owners subject to sanctions when they repeatedly turn off monitor devices, and considering this an aggravating circumstance. Both of these newly issued decrees aim to strictly control and apply severe sanction against illegal fishing activities.
Coming up next, Lotus Festival 2025 promotes Hanoi's cultural beauty. Gió connecting Vietnamese and European culture. Hanoi Lotus Festival 2024 kicks off in Tây Hồ district with the aim of promoting local products associated with the cultural values of northern provinces. The event lasts from July the 12th to the 16th at Tây Hồ Creative Cultural Space. The highlight of the event lies in the introduction of local products and specialties of northern mountain provinces at one red bush, an opening ceremony featuring an art show on a floating stage, which made use of unique underwater light mapping technology to recreate the vitality of the lotus plant. The event, which was the first of its kind, recorded the performance of people wearing traditional long dresses with lotus patterns and a cycling event around the West Lake, which involved the most participations in Vietnam. Recently in Đồng Hới City, Quảng Bình Province, an EDM music festival and a low-level fireworks display took place. That is the highlight of the Legend Summer Festival, part of a series of events in the Quảng Bình Tourism Week 2024. Thousands of tourists and local residents have immersed themselves in the grand feast of sound and dazzling light. The lively performances were meticulously prepared by professional dancers. The festival also features the participation of different popular singers and artists. Adding to the vibrant atmosphere of the music festival was a 15-minute low-level fireworks display, bursting with colorful brilliance, which is once-in-a-lifetime experience for many tourists to enjoy the fireworks ride on Baoning Beach. The festival also promotes 40 destinations and tourism products preferred by both domestic and international tourists. Among them, there are many products associated with rural areas, ethnic minority communities, and mountainous regions, offering a fresh and adventurous discovery for visitors to Quảng Bình Province. Quảng Ngãi Province is planning to develop Lý Sơn urban area into an international tourism city based on the criteria of green, clean, elite, with an airport and international passenger wharf. In terms of vision, the Lý Sơn urban planning project aims to develop this island district into an international tourism city with the criteria of green, clean, elite, with tourism products developed based on its unique and rare values of culture, exploration, nature, and resource. Particularly, Lý Sơn Island will be developed based on the combination of embellishment and new investments to attract investors, which could contribute to stabilize the livelihoods of local residents. The conical hat, Vietnamese dishes, and charming áo dài are being introduced for the first time in Jakarta, Indonesia, home to the largest Muslim population in the world, at the ongoing Vietnamese Cuisine Week. In a luxurious space, Vietnamese dishes are presented beautifully and attractively, with names in both Vietnamese and English. The event Taste of Vietnam was formed from the idea of culinary director of Marriott Jakarta when he realized the special appeal of Vietnamese dishes. And the Marriott Asia system has chosen Marriott Da Nang to cooperate in organizing the first Vietnamese Cuisine Week in Jakarta. The event is expected to provide guests from all over the world staying in Jakarta's most expensive hotel and Indonesians the opportunity to enjoy standard Vietnamese dishes created by Vietnamese chefs, thereby contributing to spreading the quintessence of Vietnamese culinary culture to the world. In the current context of globalization and international integration, the need for cultural interference to promote innovation between Vietnam and other countries around the world is becoming increasingly important and necessary. And Vietnam always actively and selectively absorbs foreign artistic quintessence to renew and enrich its culture. Let's follow us now to better understand the innovation and creativity when combining traditional, modern, East, West, global, local cultural elements in art field.
Inspired by Reup paper that appears in many Vietnamese folk arts, containing unique cultural features and at the same time reminding of wind, symbolizing movements, flexibility and freshness. The ballad song is a special combination of European classical music and the shades of Vietnamese culture, expressed through contemporary ballad language.
Đầu tiên là xuất phát từ cái ý tưởng.
First, it came from the idea between the delegation of the EU to Vietnam and Tank production team, who wanted to bring a work with the intersection of artistic culture between Europe and Vietnam. So we came up with the idea of building a ballad work with symphonic music. After consideration, we used the word "gió" in Reup paper to describe flexibility, gentleness, and vibrancy, and that is also Vietnamese material. We hope to create an intersection between the arts of the two sides. Fans, fish traps, layers of curtains, or brown shirts become props and costumes for actors to express the meaning of the Vietnamese culture. On the basis of the classic symphonic work, The Four Seasons by Italian composer Antonio Vivaldi, in the version composed by contemporary composer Max Richter, every dance step and movement on stage of the dancers shows the expression of the soul and emotional experiences in the symphony of life.
Có rất nhiều thứ cộng hưởng ở trong cái vở gió này, âm nhạc của châu Âu.
There are many things that resonate in the Reup work, namely the European music and dance style, but how to bring the breath of Vietnamese people through items like this bell or typical Vietnamese clothes, áo dài, silk dresses, and how to use European dance style but still bring folk culture. That is a breakthrough and creativity. It is also a challenge for us to create a work that can reach the audience and prove that Vietnamese people show the talents on European symphonic music. Ambassador, head of the delegation of the EU to Vietnam, Julian Gutierrez, said the work bringing the moving spirit of the EU, containing cultural connections that symbolize the relationship between Vietnam and the EU, going beyond the framework of aid, commercial, or political cooperation towards the essence of artistic beauty, while bringing the art of ballet closer to Vietnamese public.
This ballet, Do, is a unique combination of European classical music, The Four Seasons by Vivaldi, rearranged by Max Richter, and choreography by young Vietnamese artists. It shows how much putting together creativity from different parts of the world, in this case Europe and Vietnam, can result in a wonderful work of art that we would not have been able to achieve with Europeans only or with Vietnamese only. So on this very occasion of Europe Day, where we are celebrating our unification in a peaceful manner in Europe, we wanted to display how much peaceful cooperation, including in the arts, can result in wonderful creativity.
Chúng tôi mong muốn sự kết hợp này
Hopefully, this combination will bring ballet art closer to the public, as this art form is still not familiar to people. I think this is an interesting and effective match to bring such academic subjects as classical music or ballet closer to Vietnamese audiences.
It's the end of the English News Bulletin today. You can watch the news again at qpvn.vn. For now, goodbye and see you next time.